David, good to see you. Dan, Ed, Wilson, Mary, Brian, Wade, Tara. Glad to see you, everybody. Dun, 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 dun. And welcome to the show. We've got off market holiday coming up. Everybody got the day off tomorrow? I'll be here live at 9:15 doing a crypto especial. Welcome everybody to the show. Started just a minute early, so we'll give it just a minute. We're going to do a little bit of talk about the market holiday, the weird closed on Wednesday situation. The market just, it's not very typical that we get a midweek market close day. Just not typical. And I was kind of warning all the members to be careful out there. Hey, another Ivan. We had an Ivan here last week, and good to have you, Ivan. I'm not going to even pretend to pronounce that name because it's not common around here. And welcome. Hey, Jason, good to see you. Good to see you. And we'll talk about some seasonality stuff because, well, we're getting into the heart of June, and there's a market adage, a saw, or whatever you want to call it. Sell in May, go away. And I guess the biggest news of the day, NVDA became the biggest company in the land, taking over, jumping from spot number 3 all the way up to spot number 1, taking over from Microsoft and leapfrogging Apple at the same time. And well, who remembers March 24th, the year 2000, Cisco briefly took the top spot for Microsoft, and that was the top of the Nasdaq, Nasdaq index for a good little while, like 14 years. You remember that? You remember that? That was the height of the .com excitement, if you will. We didn't see a substantial new high for like 14 years. So definitely cautious. Definitely cautious here. Market went sideways for 14 years, and this is not unlike what I've been warning about, right? Not unlike. Hey, my favorite subscriber, Kimberly, is here. Welcome, Kimberly. My favorite subscriber of all time. Anyway, and then, of course, we're going to do 30 minutes of your request at a minimum. So, without further ado, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. I mean, just because I predict stuff all the time comes true, like NVIDIA becoming the largest company in the land, I get lucky sometimes. Hey, I may never get it right again. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining. It is not a recommendation to be buying or selling anything. No stocks, no options, no bonds, no forex, no futures, no cryptos, no treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. You may lose money. All right? And don't buy stuff from gurus. Don't buy stuff from people like me if you don't trust me. All right? That's why you're here. Hopefully, build some trust. Hopefully, give you some, do some technical analysis for you. Give you some predictions that may come true. I mean, I get it right, get lucky here and there along the way. If you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. It's not what I do. I'm not telling you what to do. Just a dude sitting here trying to give you a little entertainment in the financial space. So without further ado, let's jump into some stuff, right? So we do have that holiday tomorrow. I mean, it's Juneteenth, right? June 19th, Juneteenth. And David, welcome, brand new first timer. See my goatee? I've had that for, let's see. I parted ways with Air Force ROTC in 2001, so 23 years. The dudes are emerging. I'm just a dude talking to other dudes. The dudes are emerging, as they say in Tropic Thunder. Anyway, yeah, 23 years. It's looked a little different here and there. It's been thinner. It's been shorter. It's been longer. Hadn't really gotten much fatter than it is right now. But it's some might say it's where all the great ideas come from. I had a copywriter that was like, we should do a deal where your goatee jumps off takes up the whole screen and just talks to everybody, tells them how it's really the source of all your power, and that's why you need to have it. Anyway, David A in the chat there, he wanted everybody to grow a goatee for the in-person live event I had last week. Some had various forms of goatees, but none quite like mine. That's kind of the it would be your nightmare. And Kimberly's my wife. If for those that are brand new didn't know in the chat, Kimberly's my wife. So anyway, that's enough about that. Enough about talking goatee. Especially if it was a smarty pants, right? All right, moving on. So back to the calendar, and maybe I should put me on the other side so I don't block out so much of the good stuff. You know, today retail sales kind of a dud, even though we rallied strongly thereafter. And coming on down, tomorrow is the banking holiday right there. Bank holiday. That is Juneteenth for the U.S. And there you go. Nice 7 inch. My brother now. My brother, he's got a heck of a beard, and my dad, turned it into the great white, whatever you want to call him. So those that got to meet him last week, and nobody got to meet my two brothers. My two brothers, I guess, have better things to do. Whatever. So then on Thursday, market's back open again. We've got some unemployment claims right there. We got some building permits. We got the Philly Fed manufacturing. None of that going to be particularly spicy, I don't think. But we do see some flash manufacturing and services PMI coming right here on Friday. Those tend to be a little bit of a market volatility, not a lot. Typically the crazier stuff comes at 8:30, but none of that matters for us. That's all Canadian news, Canada, and the great white 51st state, as some refer to it. And not really much expecting much to happen in it right here this week. So be careful. And William, hold off on the requests, please, till we get there. I'm going to do a few updates, and we'll get through a few market things, housekeeping items, and then we'll get the request. If you hit them now, I'll probably lose them in the chat because people tend to throw some stuff in the chat while I'm going. And now, look at here. Dun, 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 Cisco briefly tops Microsoft in the year 2000 right there. March 24th, 2000. Then today we get NVIDIA passing Microsoft to become the most valuable public company right here today. Be careful. I'm going to say it again. Be careful. And I said we'd push likely when we saw NVIDIA getting to be the biggest company in the land. We would see the SPX pushing 5,500. We came up just a tad shy right there, 54.87. Gosh, missed it by 13 points. Man. Sorry, everybody. Missed it by 13 points. And got darn close. Right? So, anyway. Well, hey, there's always 6,000, right? We could push this. Goose was in the chat with me earlier. For those that don't know, Lieutenant Colonel Goose. If you're new here, Goose talks to me quite a bit. He's one of my VIP members, and he was like, "What are the odds? What are the odds that we could get to 6,000?" Right? Oh, gotta mute my phone. Ah, there he is. That was Goose, actually. That's funny. All right, what are the odds that we get to 6,000? Right there. What are the odds? At this point, everything's probable, all right? Look at where we've been. Look at where we came from. Zoom her out, Buttercup. Look at this right here. Let's go out to a weekly chart. I mean, 6,000 is not that far away. Not really. That little blip right there, 6,000, that's not even far. Not even far. Could we get there? You betcha we could get there. Yeah, we're only talking 10% higher. Drop in the bucket compared to what we've done. Drop in the bucket. But we zoom out even further. Look at that. That's when Cisco, just a tick right back there. March. Yeah, skips March 10th. So March 10th, that's when that news about NVIDIA becoming Cisco, Cisco right there. That one. Cisco briefly tops Microsoft as the most valuable firm right there. Look what we did. Ho, ho, ho. See that, right? Everybody sees this, right? I'm just point out the obvious here. Everybody sees that, right? And that's just S&P. Look over here. This one gets even crazier. And it's not going to pull all the data. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. There we go. Look over here. Oh, even longer than 14 years. Man, it's like 14 years right in there. 15, I guess. Look at that. Remember, really 16 years later before we really substantially went for it. And now look at that. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. I tell you what. This is starting to look wicked right there. Starting to look wicked. I mean, we put it back on a logarithmic chart. We haven't gone anywhere really. But if you look at it non-log, that's pretty wild right there. Pretty wild. Looks a lot like this, kind of popping up, getting the pullbacks. Hey, if we're all geniuses, watch out for people. Watch out for people talking about how much money they're making in the market, and they're not the type of person that would normally be trading. That's like the biggest, reddest flag ever right here. Right? When people that don't trade are telling you what to invest in, be careful. Be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. All right, then if you see anybody talking about just need a cool off, next rally is going to get started. Big down. We could be heading down back to the bottom. Be careful. I'm just a guy giving some warnings. I have to say, it makes me really, really nervous. Like really, really nervous. And where did my seasonality chart go? Oh, did I close it? I bet I closed it. Oh, there. I found it. Okay. I thought I closed it when I was closing stuff. Here we go. Looky here. Start out with Nasdaq, since we're talking about Nasdaq. Right there. My drawing tools on the other browser. Here we are in June. Look, we're right there. We can see a little flash down. This is 20 years composite right here on Nasdaq. 20 years summed up. Typically, toward the end of June, we see a little bit of pullback. And then July tends to be pretty bullish, and August tends to be sideways. That's just Nasdaq right there. Just Nasdaq. Rolling on back. S&P. Typically, here we are. Right in the middle of June, just past the middle. Like you kind of have to imagine the middle there. This is 20-year seasonality also. Typically, in the last 20 years, we pull back a little bit on the S&P into the end of June. Back to a rally in July, and typically ending kind of flat by the end of August. We could be in for some chop. Be careful. VIX, well, tend to get a little spike. That would correspond with a pullback, and then a drop into July. Just be careful. Just throwing these out there. Seasonality-wise, we could see 20-year history. I mean, that's just an aggregate average over 20 years. Does it have to happen? No, sure doesn't. But the possibilities are out there. Hey, Goose, I was just you sent a message on my. I was talking about you, and then you sent a message, almost like I was summoning you to the live stream. It's pretty funny. Anyway, I didn't have my phone muted, of course. Anyway, there's Goose, and welcome to the stream, everybody. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Looks like a pretty typical crowd, about 70-ish. My closest friends here to hang out. And remember, along the way, if anything I say is helpful, give me a thumbs up. So I'm going to hit a few market things. Let's hit a few charts, and then we'll take requests. I'll give you the rundown, so don't hit me with requests yet. I'll give you the rundown when we get there. Just remember, things are looking pretty cooked. Last time we had a massive high in the markets, it was a long time before we broke out. A long time. Holy moly, long time. Be careful. This thing scares me. It scares me when I get things right, like predicting NVIDIA is going to go to where it went and take S&P to the 5,500 area. I mean, like, no joke. Like, it freaks me out. Like 9 months ago, I think it was, I said NVIDIA was probably going to be the largest company in the land. Right there it is. Right there it is today. Nope, got to refresh it. Right there. There we go. Yeah, right there. Dun, 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 dun. We ended up at $3.3 trillion. Look at that ridiculousness. Look at that ridiculousness. For this to go to 150 whatever dollars a share, we're going to have to bump this on up to $3.7 trillion. Some ridiculous numbers. Be careful out there. Microsoft and Apple dropping. You know, NVIDIA leapfrogging right up there. Be careful. Last time we saw a company go from the ashes all the way to the top. Cisco. Be careful. I'm just saying. I mean, I've said it a lot. This is the recipe for a disaster. That's the only thing I could say. That's the only thing I say. Anyway, yeah, with great power. And golly, it's just absolutely mind. Was it Will Ferrell says? Mind-boggling. Yeah. Get your thoughts all bottled up, right? Just it's wild. Just so wild. Yeah, I think my other chart, I have a giant arrow over here. It's like NVIDIA being the top, and there it is. Could we go even higher? Absolutely, we can go higher. Like there's no reason this has to stop now. We can keep being crazy. This party can keep going. We can keep being crazier. Did I say 150 was likely? No, I don't think it's likely, but I mean, we can get there. We can get there. It's not gonna surprise me that much. Yeah. So, I mean, why not just hit it now before we get too far into this? Look, Cisco. Let's jump down. Jump back. It's funny. It's on the list. We're going to have to go to a weekly chart and jump back in time to a land far, far away and a time long, long ago. Look at this over here. Does this chart look familiar? Look at this. Look. I mean, does that look like another chart we've seen recently? I wish I could time offset them. This is right here. Jump up to current time. Yeah, right there. Gotta jump back in time. Gotta go back. Look at that though. Oh, like everything's almost the same, right? Like the acceleration, the excitement, the pop, just the price a little different. There were splits in here and stuff. But look at this. When we zoom this on out, let's go up to a monthly chart. Look at this. And look right here. You know what's funny about that? Right there. Isn't that a lot like that? Everybody see it? Right. Let me know in the chat if you don't see this. I'm just saying. Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. And look. It's never gone higher. Could it go higher? Well, sure, we could go higher. I'm just be careful out there. So what kind of drop was that on Cisco? Go from that high down to the low. That was 87%. Came off of that one. Did it go out of business? No. Did it just come back and suffer for a long time? Yeah, absolutely. Now, could this be a paradigm shift and I don't know what I'm talking about on NVIDIA? Well, I mean, it's entirely possible. Look, I mean, NVIDIA's done this before, though. Look, you see that, right? And then it goes on the next one. Comes down pretty harsh. Then it goes on the next one. And, I mean, it's done this a few times. It's done this crazy move. So what would 87% of the value look like if we lost it right here? Ooh, man, down to 20. Ugh. That'd be pretty rough. Whew. Be careful. Please, if you're chasing NVIDIA. I'm just man, please be careful. Please, please, please. We might see this kind of lightning thing and then a dropout. So be careful. And they have the puts priced. There's some premium inputs right now. Be careful. And this could take a little while too. So, or could take a lot of while. And what did I do? Honestly, honesty, like hate to get anybody into something. Like, do not do this trade, all right? Don't do this. Don't do this at all. I bought some NVDS right here. This is leveraged short. This is absolutely dangerous. Like, absolutely. But look, it wouldn't even take that much of a pop. Look where we were at the last split right here, right there. 76, 36. I mean, that's double your money. You know, just pop up to the roadmap line. That'd be 3 times, almost 4 times your money right there. Be pretty wild. I bought 10 shares. 10 shares, $300. Because I said we were going to pull back in NVIDIA when we got to where it's the highest high. So I eat my hat, buy the position. All right, buy the position. We'll see. If it goes to 0, lose my $300, $360, but it's on the line. I've got skin in the game. Let's see how epic my predictions are. If NVIDIA just keeps going, I don't know what I'm talking about. Makes it back to 1,000 again. Hey, congratulations to anybody long NVIDIA, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Look at this. Look at this nutso thing. Look, we're at basically $35 trillion up here. Yeah, $35 trillion in U.S. debt. I mean, every citizen in the United States owes $642,000 in debt for the United States. Right there. You see this down here? Right here. See this number right here? 642,000. Just, I mean, exceeds our assets. $614,000 per citizen in assets. $642,000 in debt. I mean, essentially, we're bankrupt on paper. Just freaking crazy. And we're going to add a couple $1 trillion to the value of NVIDIA. Yeah, be careful. So anyway, I think this one could pop while NVIDIA drops. Time will tell. I'm the greater fool. I think a lot of people are going to get hurt when this finally rolls over. All right, that's why I'm beating the drum. Ultimately, that's why I beat the drum. I think a lot of people are going to get sucked in to this narrative that it's going to keep going higher, despite all logic and whatever you want to say. It's nothing like a bubble. All right, nothing like a bubble. Sucks everybody in, rips everybody. I mean, be careful. This will be your warning right here. If you get in up here and we do this, this is your warning. All right, that's the warning. And we see this come right back down. Be careful. Be careful. All right. Usually we hit some futures and talk about the general market, which looks like it's cooked. If NVIDIA rolls, being the largest company in the land, it's probably going to hurt. All right. So ES at risk, that's S&P 500. NQ at risk, that's the Nasdaq. Russell's already still being beaten down, indicating there's problems. We're kind of hanging out down here, not at all-time highs. I don't want to beat it into the ground, but this is not overly bullish right here. There's problems. There's problems in CRE. There's problems in banks. There's $517 billion missing off of balance sheets to making about 71. I guess it's 71 banks are insolvent. FDIC may be taking over another chunk of banks here a year later. Be careful. Be careful. And oil potentially breaking out, hitting. Oh, look at that. Look at where it stopped. Oh, my goodness. Right. Somebody drew this blue line on the chart. I think it was this morning. And we stopped right underneath it as the resistance. That blue line comes from all the way back over here. Being the same resistance we've got. Yeah, this was support over here. It was resistance breaking higher back in here. And touch up in there back in May. Just right near the end of the month. Just almost 3 weeks ago now. And we're right back to it. Can we break out higher? If we do, highly likely we're going to rally really quickly up into this $90 area. Whether it's UCO is the way, is your weapon of choice. There's lots of weapons of choice for oil. UCO, that's one. That's a leveraged way. USO, right here. I think, wait. Let's go back. I think I drew this vertical line. Does anybody remember why I put that vertical line on the chart on UCO? I think that was when I predicted it was going to break out. It's kind of crazy if it breaks out right there. And that was the vertical line I put on the chart for doing it. I don't even remember why I put that on the chart. That's kind of weird, though, that it does a big rally just on the day that I put the big bar on the chart. USO, flip back over. So at this point, breaking the downtrend of highs. Same situation, breaking out. Can we rally higher? Absolutely. Target right up there, 88 on USO. And that's how you play oil. Now, could it fail? Absolutely, it could fail. I mean, there's nothing guaranteed in the markets here. Nothing at all. Gasolina. Let's see. I'm not going to talk about specific trades. Sorry, my man. It's not what I do. It's not what I'm here for. I will talk about charts. I'll look at your ticker, but I will not look at a specific trade. Can't give you advice. And gasoline potentially going to break above the roadmap line, which could set it on a path for $3.30. $3.30, possibly $3.50. And if we break above that, well, that's the 618 resistance for this whole big move down. Breaking above 340 sets us up for $5 a gallon right there. $5 a gallon. That's going to hurt. That's wholesale prices. Whew. Whew, we could be looking at $6, $7 a gallon retail. Man, that would hurt. And diesel still looking rough. Hasn't even made it up to the roadmap line yet. So we got a strong resistance up here at 270. Could gasoline go higher while diesel does not? I don't know. It's unusual, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. NG, natural gas, pulled back off of that 310 high, 315 high. Yeah, 315. Pulled back, did the back test of the breakout. Look at this. You see that right there? Right there. Back tested the breakout. If it breaks higher than that, right there, that prior high, right there, it's game on. Game on for going higher. Target right up here at $4 for now. It's got all the makings. I might buy more UNG tomorrow. A little bit longer time frame, probably out to October exposure if I was going to do that. If you think this is something that can go, I mean, the more conservative method here would be to wait for that to actually break higher than that 315 breakout. Definitely to wait for the break above this. You know, right now it's just a higher high than this. We still have a lower high than this, and this just a reminder. We're still lower high than that, and that we're gonna have to break both of those to get up to there, up to that $4. So be careful. Always, you know, it's not being wrong that costs you money. Like, you can be wrong in the market. It doesn't cost you big money. All right. It's when you're like, I'm buying now. And when it breaks down below this, you're like, I'm doubling down. And then when it breaks down below this, you're like, all right, I'm doubling down the double down, you know, triple, quadruple down. And then it goes down here. And that's when you take a big loss. All right. So it's not being wrong. Like, but when you're proven wrong, just GTFO, get out of the trade. All right. Just close it out. Take your small loss, your small lesson. Don't make it a big lesson. Don't make it an epic loss by doubling down, triple down, whatever. Don't do that stuff. All right. Don't make a little loss into a big loss. Like, when you're wrong, just admit it and move on. There's plenty of other trades. I mean, there's like 5,000 equities, however many hundred futures, gosh, 2.4 million cryptos. I mean, there's enough stuff. You could go find another awesome chart that's actually doing something. Although finding a crypto right now that's doing anything awesome is kind of tough. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So make sure you set an alarm in your phone, 9:15 tomorrow morning. Even though it's Juneteenth, I'm gonna come on, be live. But when we look at look at the performance this week. This is how many cryptos are positive in the last week. Last 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. So 19, missing one. 19 cryptos positive. And there's not hardly one on there that I recognize the name of. I was sitting there like double checking. I was like, yeah, there's pretty much nothing on there that's a common crypto at all. I mean, when we look at the stuff down 3%, that's a lot. All right, that's a lot. And Bitcoin down 6, and Ethereum, Binance, Solana, like, there's your major cryptos right there, all down more than 3% in the last week. So crypto not being awesome, but I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk through it. So be careful. So cryptos, even though there's like 2.4 million of them, you may be like, 2.4 million? What kind of garbage are you talking about? Look, right there. Right here. Coin market cap, 2.4 million plus cryptos right there. Right there. Right there. It's right there. I didn't make that number up. There's 781 exchanges. You know, people are like, all the time like, JT, what's your number one crypto exchange? That's hard. It's really hard to answer because I use a lot of them because, look, right here. We'll go through this tomorrow. Like, look, Binance, only 400 coins out of 2.4 million. You see any of these that have 2.4 million coins? Or even anything even close? I don't even see anything over more than 2,000 right here. 2,000 on Gate.io. 700. Oh, there's another 2,000 right there on MEXC. None of these have like anywhere close to 1 million. Right? So there's no one place to go and trade crypto. That makes it more difficult. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. GC, GC, GC. Strong day, but more chop fest. That's all I gotta say. More chop fest. Zoom her up. Look at this. Chop fest, chop fest, chop fest. Looking for support. Hasn't broken out. While I did think it was going to be strong for term our trading lab people when we did the roundtable yesterday afternoon, I said, well, that looks like it's going to break out and move higher. But right up there is the target. And it's going to take a little while to get there. Today wasn't the day. Tomorrow, like, funny enough, futures reopen at 6 p.m. tonight in like 25 minutes. And they'll be open until 1 p.m. tomorrow. But equities and options don't open tomorrow, so makes it difficult for us normal people to play. But if you're into futures, here's your opportunity. So silver, also kind of a choppy, hot mess down here at the bottom, hunting for a bottom. Did tag my downside target. Look at that. That's a measured bounce. That's a measured bounce. High alert for a breakout on silver. High alert. All right, that's a measured bounce. We hold that. 35. That's the target. If we push on lower, probably come back to the roadmap line right there. 26 support. If we break below 28.80 support, upside target 35, possibly even 40. Possibly 40. That would be a crazy move on silver. Excuse me, silver. 30% upside potential on the crazy. You know, crazy can do crazy. All right, crazy is out there right now. Now, this one, I was suspect on that potential breakout there. It looked very suspect. You see this big three-wave move? Reminds me of Domino's Pizza at this point. For those of you that were chasing me down for analysis on Domino's Pizza, this chart looks a lot the same. Watch out for this continuation, lower low than what we had back here in July of 22. This is not indicative of a strong economy. We got a little pop, but this can take it ripping right back down very quickly. Be careful out there. And let's see, there was another chart. Oh, look at this chart. Look at this chart. What does that look like? What does that look like? Anybody? Anybody? Dun 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 dun. Exponential. Exponential. Right? Everybody's talking about how Coco's going to have some epic major squeeze. Well, upside potential if we break above these little highs we've had recently at 10,000. Potential to go to 12,000. But this looks a lot like the complacency cool-off. Right? Looks a lot like this right here. Watch out for that right there. If you're messing with this, watch out for that right there. Right back down. Just watch out. It's a very common pattern. Yeah, sugar. You see, this is kind of a, yeah, as the diabetes drugs pick up, sugar got a problem. Cattle also. I'd love to see this one break. I'll load more. There we go. Look at that. Look at that move. Absolute craziness. The weekly chart. Come on. There we go. Look at that. Look at that move. Right to the target. Beautiful. See, that one's not, it doesn't have the exponential component yet. It did over here, and we pulled back like that. You see the consolidation? See consolidation right there? Right there. Then we went down. Not quite the same. I mean, it went kind of exponential. Back down. And then we go again. But we didn't have the exponential yet. This one can still go. Still got room to go on that one. That one can still achieve levels up here. $234 per 100 pounds. So 234 pound raw weight. You lose 60% to bones and skin and fat. And be like, expensive freaking hamburgers would that be? That's your garbage hamburger at $6 a pound. Not your high quality stuff. I'm talking about your, grocery store 70-30, cheap bin, $6-7 a pound. Expensive stuff, probably like $12 a pound. Crazy. Man, oh man. All right. Talked enough about charts, and we can do cryptos, whatever if you want to. I need you to make your request. 1 ticker per person, per request. You can wait for somebody else to go, and then you can go again. Give other people ample time to request, and I'll go until I get tired of doing it. So, ready, set, go. Give me your tickers. If you're going to request a crypto, I need the whole crypto, like BTC, USD, for example, like that. All right, and let's get her at her. And I saw Mara in the beginning, so I'll grab that one before I lose it. I did replace the battery in my mouse since this morning, so hopefully that doesn't get all glitchy like it was before. And probably should have gone to the daily chart first. Oh no, it's gonna hang up. Oh no. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Pulling up. Zoomer up, buttercup. So Mara's fairly simple right now. Fairly simple. Without going too crazy into it, here's the high. Right there. Oh, wow. That was crazy. There's the high. Here's the low. Draw your fib line. 618 level. Right here. It depends on if you have it in log mode or not log mode. As to the prices. In log mode, it's 2650. And when you take it out of log mode, or put it in log mode, whatever. Whichever the other one is, I guess this is log mode. 2440, 2450. So we need to break this zone right around 25 bucks. Period. 25 bucks. We get through there where these prior highs were. Right here, right here. Get above that. 38, possibly. 42, possibly. 57 above that. And if we break down below this prior low, right here in April, return to the bottom at like 7 bucks. That's the long and the short of it. Right there for Mara. All right. Rolling on down. Already did NVIDIA. And AT&T would be a choppy hot mess of garbage. Like, all right, look. Seriously. What do you expect this to do? What do you expect this to do? Right? Look at this. Virtually a dumpster fire. Look at the highs. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. What do you expect this to do? Lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. Hadn't broken a pattern. VZ. I mean, not as bad a chart right now, but finally loaded. Jeez, it's being slow. Yeah, lower, 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 lower. Right. Oh my gosh. Telecom, not too great. Tell me, what if all the telecoms in the world were replaced by SpaceX? It's coming. I mean, look, SpaceX gonna run on the T-Mobile network. Right, T-Mobile phones gonna hook up directly. Like this thing right here can hook to SpaceX's network. Well, that's a chart that looks like something's happening. That looks like 5 up off of that low right there. Probably a retrace. Might be in order. Could see. Once this tops out right here, could see a retrace back into this 150 area for the next leg higher. So be careful about that. Dell. That one kind of went all crazy and then retraced. Getting a little spike today on NVIDIA being spicy. Pulls back over. Zoom her up, boom her up, zoom her up. There you go. There's levels. That's resistance. We went a little exciting. Came back down, held the uptrend of lows that we've had, gosh, since March. Uptrend of lows, uptrend of lows. We held that. That's the resistance right there. 158. We get above it. 188, 197 possibly. We break down below this uptrend of lows. Back to the roadmap line. 110, 105, somewhere in there. That's Dell for you. Zillow. Did one of my favorite things. So, ultra super short time frame. 150 is the upside target there. But look at this. We moved up, retraced, did another move up, retrace, broke out above the roadmap line, retraced, held, moving up, breaking out. This is the pattern I was talking about a few minutes ago. Kind of on oil and stuff. Like look right there. We're pushing above. If we get above that, I bought calls. I'm not joking around. I bought some calls yesterday, I think it was. Look at this. Ooh, baby. 70, 80 bucks from 49. That is a nice upside potential. I really like this pattern. 42% upside potentially on shares. That'd be like ridiculous numbers on calls. Doesn't matter what strike. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Need it to go in the money. So something in this $50 range would be pretty sweet if you can afford it. How long? That's the question. Indeed, how long? This correction took a while. Topped in February, bottomed in May. So February, March, April, May, 3 months. Easily can take 3 times longer than that. So 9 months. So you need at least 9 months out here for this to rally up to the zone. And, you know, preferably more like 5 times longer. So that's like 15 months. Be careful out there. MCL. Hopefully you're not serious about that. What the heck? What are you even doing? I mean, that is a hot piece of dumpster fire garbage right there. Don't have the reverse split. Shiminy Christmas, man. Like, don't mess with stuff like that. Don't trade things like that, please. Gold. By gold, do you mean Barrick? Dun, dun, dun. I know you're new here, but please don't trade stuff like that. It's a giant hot mess of not what I trade. I'm a trend pullback continuation trader, so I'm looking for stuff that's trending. This right here is not one of them. This is trending sideways. I've got lots of stuff drawn on the chart. What do I expect? More of that with a slightly downward bias. Now, a much better chart. NEM. This potentially looks like it bottomed. Moving up. Retracing. Holding above the roadmap line so far. That right there is support. We hold there. Potentially much larger targets because this is a big, giant measured bounce right here. That moved up. Retraced. Held the 618. That sets this up for a potential move to ridiculous targets. 100, 160. Yeah, it could be a while. Could be a long while. Could be way past 26. Let's keep it in mind. All right. Could it go fast? It could, but might take a little while. HOLX. I'm going to have to refresh the browser. Please hold. Save. There you go. Refresh. Reload. Reload. Refresh. Reload. Come on. Oh my gosh. Come on. I have to kill the whole thing. Come on. Disappointing. Free up some memory. Yeah, that's the thing. When you go through a bunch of charts, surprised Windows updates hadn't rebooted this thing yet. Oh, look at that. Load up something crazy like an NVDX range chart. Come on. Still gonna be stupid. All right. Well, cool. Now we're gonna do about this. Please hold. This back. Put me on. Put me on. There we go. Let's just kill the browser. Give me a second. Got to kill the browser. Oh yeah, we're using like 6 gigs of RAM. All right. Coming back at you. Brand new session. Restore. There we go. Now it's snappy. And we'll go back like this. There we go. And what was it? I just knocked something off. And we don't need a range chart. We need a daily chart. And HOLX doing that sideways chop thing. So in the range, it's been in the range since 4 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, I don't expect anything different on that one. Stuck in a range. FAS. Back to the roadmap line. Yeah, now we're cooking with diesel fuel. All right. There's the support. Right here. Right in there. Support. Now, what we're going to see between now and the first week of July is money flowing into financials. Now, if you didn't know, this is the way this works. At the end of every quarter, we see money flowing out of other things and into financials. So is this the rally we're looking for? I don't know. Could it wait another week before it really gets going? Maybe. But typically, coming into the end of the quarter, like right here in March, we see a move up. And then after financials start reporting earnings, we see a pullback. Now, doesn't always show up in this chart clearly, but right here, into the quarter, rally. Into that quarter, rally. What it does in between, we can see a pullback, and then we can see rally, or we can see chop. It's not like something that carries on through the quarter. Now, coming into the end of September, this one, a little bit of rally, and then pullback. And then July, or end of June, rally. And we got preemptive pullback. Rallied a little bit more into July and kept going on up and then pulled back. So, yeah, there's last few quarters. It happens pretty regularly. So this will likely, it's not a given, all right? Likely we could see some rally into next week, possibly into July, early July, and then it'll pull back, or, who knows. Money typically flows to financials first, out of financials into big tech, out of big tech into other places in the market. That's the quarterly cycle for earnings. And we see it pretty consistently. Apple has exceeded the first target, second target, 220. Yeah, I can't believe I gave up right there. Bought those calls right down here. Gave up right there. Should have waited. Oh well. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't regret anything. That was a smart decision when we chopped right there. Smart decision. On my part, for my account. MCK. Next fib line up, 618. That's pretty ridiculous. Last time we touched the roadmap line, April of 23. I mean, we glanced it right there in December, but April 23, last time we were in there. That's probably going to retrace at some point in time. Yep. That's getting pretty ridiculous. Now, how much higher? 800 could go up there. Very, very few. Well, only 1% of stuff just goes ripping up that high without a major retrace. So be careful. That'd be a 1% of thing move or less. Could it do it? Sure, it could. Is it very likely? Not really. 99% likely to fail on the way there. At this point, we're up in the highly likely to not go that extra mile before we retrace. And retrace big could mean all the way back down to the breakout at 400. So that's 200 bucks down. Be careful. Be careful. ABBV. Right to the limit there. Really close. Really, really close. If you want to count it as a close above, 91 the target. And if I revise the targets, recently, if you're new here, recently I've added this 1.1448. That is 90% of the way to the 1272. I commonly hold that these fib zones are zones that we can all draw on the chart and that lots of algos have programmed into them. And sometimes on more popular stocks, we will see algos front run each other and actually come up shy of the target. So if we're going to rally up higher, target 187 is 90% of the way to the 1272. And for more popular stuff, we may see it come up shy. Now, that doesn't mean we won't exceed it. Sometimes all the algorithms get together and get a little extra spicy, and we see it run up through it. And we could see an upper bound right there before we see a typical retrace back down to the breakout, and then an extension that runs up to the 1618. And this move, this secondary move up here, only happens like 35% of the time. So it goes from like a high 74% of the time to 35% of the time. So this move over here, a lot less likely than this move from here to here. Well, from here to here. All right. That move, 74% of the time. You may be like, oh, how do you know? It's because I built this right here. Look, on this particular ticker, 88%. 80% of the time right there. Right there. That's pretty strong. Profit factor 5.28 right there. Going from here to right there. Pretty sweet. How do you get that? That's not a giveaway right there. So sorry, not happening. All right. And AVGO has a split coming up. If you didn't know, 10 for 1, about a month from now. Ludicrous levels. How much higher can it go? Well, we can keep being crazy. 1925, 2300. Now, for those of you like, well, is this one gonna get to the top of the heap? Unlikely. We're only $830 billion only, right there. I mean, we basically added the value of Broadcom to NVIDIA the last couple of days, and think about that for a second. Just stop and think about that for a second. We've added the value of Broadcom to NVIDIA in like the last 3 weeks or something like that. And can we go higher? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can go higher from here. But I don't think we're coming up here. Not in the short term. So be careful though. That one's also very, very exponential at this point. Straight up from the last big consolidation back here. So watch out. Extremely pushing higher. Extremely pushing higher. Like that's extreme levels of just wildness. Push right on through the 3618 right there. 4618 right there. So we got 2440, 3298, and the 1% move 11,000. But divide by 10, so it'd be back to 1,180 something if we got all the way up there. I don't think that's likely, but crazy can keep being crazier. It doesn't have to stop. All right, these things can be stupid longer than you can afford to stay in them, especially if you're shorting. But be careful. Tesla, yeah, I've been holding that we'll see a move down to 160. Now, back to my statement that popular stocks sometimes truncate. That low right there. Grab my drawer. That low right there might have been truncating this move down to 160 that I've been looking for. We might have truncated it, so that could be the low. All right, if we get done here, I'm adding my leverage long back, TSLL. I had like 2,000 shares, 3,000 shares of TSLL the day before earnings. And I sold it out right here. We're basically in the same ballpark. Bought it the day before earnings, sold it up here when we were going to fail, and I was pretty sure we're coming back to 160. I will buy again at 160 TSLL, but or we have to get above this junk right here. Oh, look, the market's open. Market is open again. Futures are open back up again. They'll close at 1 p.m. tomorrow or Juneteenth. So there you go. All right. That's Tesla. AMD stuck under resistance. AMD stuck on the roadmap line. Not good for going higher. If we get below these lows, that's where we're going. Right there. We turned down way before we got to resistance. Resistance up at 191. We really, 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 really need to hold this right here if we're going to be bullish. This is starting to look like the complacency pattern. Right? That pop up, chop a little bit. Complacency. Just need to cool off a little bit. Break out higher. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That might come back down. Looking for support right down here around 95. Right there. All right. And DOCS. I'll catch up to the chat here in a few minutes. DOCS, back to the roadmap line. If we can hold it, pop up here. If we don't, down here, 17. And DAVA. Dava. Well, dang. I don't know what to say. Wow. Sometimes I surprise myself. It didn't do that, but it sure did that. Look at that, right in the target. This could be support. Can it go lower? You bet your bottom dollar. Sure is bullshit. We can. I don't know what to say. That's didn't do that. Didn't turn bullish at all. It just went straight to the target. Golly, man. So resistance all the way up here. Doesn't surprise me. Look, this is basically lying about your numbers. Like estimate 24 cents, reported 27 cents. But when we use standard generally accepted accounting practices, we actually lost 33 cents. Wait a minute. So you reported you made 27 cents, but when we actually use generally accepted accounting practices, we lost 4 cents. Oh, hello. What happened to their 31 cents a share? That's stupid. They deserve to go to zero. Yeah. Don't lie about your numbers. Just be honest. Yeah. Crazy. So yeah, that went exactly. That was just a market roadmap pattern, and to the extreme. On the bounce down. Could it be the bottom? Maybe. Looks like it's probably going to go lower low. So watch out for a low lower than that right there. Not going to surprise me one bit. See that drop down there? Not one bit. All right, moving on. SMLR. Welcome everybody to the show. Choppy sideways. Nothing. Nada. What if Svenborn knows that one? Nada. Nope. Okay, so resistance at 58 and support at 20, 19. Nothing. All right, moving on. Meta. Oops, fat fingered something. Meta. So what's revised the target here since I've recently redone my fib tool. Here is the target. Now you may be like, well, how likely is Meta to hit that target? And I should click the eyeball, not the settings. So Meta, it's almost like the other one. 88% likely. 5.255. That's almost the same exact numbers. That's crazy. They had the entry. Here, it's already like this thing, this tester is already in that trade right there. That was already the entry. Target is right there. 550 and 18 pennies. 88% likely based on history that it's going to carry out this pattern. Profit factor, pretty dang healthy. And that's just a win. Let's say it's not a win-loss ratio. It's like, it's kind of like the size of the wins compared to the size of the losses. So it's difficult for some people to math that out right there. But the wins are kind of like 5 times bigger than the losses. All right, moving on. That's Meta for you. I'm bullish on Meta. GEHC under the roadmap line. Caution right there is the resistance going higher. Could turn this back off, make the screen bigger. So we've got resistance right there. And if we bounce down, you can see what happened last time right here. Right to the target. Do it again. Down here, 74 supports. Right there on the downside for GEHC. GE Healthcare, PLTR. I was kind of optimistic we'd see this pullback finally, but this may be a longer correction before we can get the pullback. Came up shy of the roadmap line. Mucking up my pattern a little bit here. Could we go higher again? Yeah, it's possible. Anything is possible. 28 if we're going on up. 28 next resistance, which just happens to be coincidental. You tell me. Right there, that high, that potential target. Right there. That's PLT4R for you. DOGE, USD, Dogecoin. Look at that wicked chart. We'll go through this tomorrow. That looks pretty bad. I have to say, that looks pretty bad. That's pretty gnarly. Might come down to 8 cents. Right down here. Yep. All right, moving on. That's Dogecoin, Dogecoin. Shoot, I skipped the chat. There we go, bro. Yeah, look at that. Popping up through the resistance. Next one up, 100. Right there. Not much I can do. There's not a lot of pullback in that chart that I can deal with. Elf, beauty. Look at that, the target. It's going for it. There's the target, 234, 2 for 45. Should have got something long. I did not. Stayed away because I got burned last time. And still sour. Netties still set up to go lower. Target down here, 73. Tesla already did. ETSY. If you missed it, just rewind it. ETSY likely to come down to 52. Right there. It's on the charts. NDAQ. Already did Nasdaq, but here you go. I guess this is Nasdaq, the company. And here's the resistance, there's the target. Got to break above that resistance right there. If we don't, maybe back to the lows down there. Bigger downside risk. EX. Especially with that new Texas exchange coming on the market. Everything's better in Texas, as I'm told. All right, that's below support. Tipping the odds that we may see this if we get below that last line of supports right in here. That's not how that one goes. Where do you put your money between trades? In my account, into cash. I don't ever move. So a lot of people think I got lots of money. I don't. I don't have lots of money. I have lots of money in retirement accounts, and it pretty much stays invested in high dividend paying stuff, not in trades. So, do I trade stuff? Yeah, I make lots of trades, and there's not generally a lot of money not in trades. So I have some high, what do you call it? High churn trades. Let's see. Look at these. This is refresh it for today. This is trades that have come out since the 10th right here. So the last 8 days, and a couple of those were weekends. So there you go. This. All these that are crossed out down here are closed. So everything from here down, closed. Here down. All that closed out already. These things churn money pretty fast, like 3 days. So these trades don't stay open very long. Right there. And moving on. So where do I park my money? Into short duration trades that are high probability. Dell maybe popping up to there. I think I already went through that one. ITC. At the support, if we break down, going lower. Maybe 20, maybe even lower. Depends on if it's log mode or not. I don't know. Stuff that moves more than $50 usually I put in log mode, but this one's difficult. It's kind of right on the limit there. Not really moving $50 per se, but sometimes making the numbers look a little better. I don't know. You tell me. So upside resistance at 46, downside support at 17. Not great for Intel at the moment. BITO is just Bitcoin. It's chart. Came back to the roadmap line. Paid the dividend. Made it back to the roadmap line. And BTC USD has a little catching up to do, and it may be breaking down below. Let's see this. This is just a chart on Bitcoin, not the important chart. So let's remove the drawings. That's Bitstamp. That's the one that Robinhood's trying to buy right here. It's right there. We closed in a dangerous position right here. That's very, very dangerous for Bitcoin. Right there. We might drop down to that right there. Maybe coming down to 60,000 right there. That would be that. It represents right there. So we may see that we closed in, like, if we don't bounce tomorrow during Juneteenth, if we push lower and get down in here tomorrow, coming down here. If not, making a lower low than what we had right back here. Maybe like, no way, JT, that's not what we need. We could easily see this spike down here, make a low, and then reverse, or do something more sinister. So be careful. Be careful. I've been watching and waiting for this to come down to 3,200 right there on Ethereum. Could all come together. So can't really chart BITO. It's a derivative of Bitcoin, so you can't really do BITO by itself without really looking at Bitcoin because it's not going to move independently. And NEM retracing back to the roadmap line. Kind of already hit this briefly. So BitX coming back to the roadmap line. CELH Celsius Holdings is below the roadmap line. Resistance is the roadmap line at this point. There. And support in the intermediate is down here. We didn't quite get there. Don't remember what I drew that arrow for. We pushed below those highs. So there's support, there's resistance. That's the long and the short of it. Long, resistance, short right there. Nothing else. Just churn sideways like we did. We did some consolidation before, so we could just ping pong around in here, not really do much. So that's Celsius arm breaking out, target higher, not far to go, 184. Eventually, it's going to retrace. It's starting to go exponential. How high can it go? 210, 260, 280. A few days ago when it broke above this, I said, game on. It's going for it all pretty quick. And it's one that didn't retrace. I thought it was going to retrace, but found the strength. Be careful now, though. We're in a dangerous period. Dangerous period. SYM broke the watermelon seed squeeze to the downside. Target like $10. Yeah. Since it's moved more than $50, maybe I should put it in log mode and redo these right here. Let's pull this over here. Pull that up to the top. Control C, Control V. Copy. Nice and crooked. That would be the top. This would be the drop. Still pretty bad. $20. Potential right there. There you go. Watermelon seed squeeze. Did it pop? Nope. It's dropping. Acceleration down to the line. Alrighty. Moving on. S-Books. Well, helps if I type the letters in the right order. Starbucks resistance right there. Support down here. So 60 versus 87. XRP USD is going in the toilet. Check this out. Uptrend of lows. We broke below. Back tested. This is a recipe for a big down to a lower low. Right there. That's the setup. Hate to say it. Be careful. Don't stay wrong. PR. Back to the roadmap line. If it can break above 16, possibly come up to 18. Not big numbers. Not big numbers. Oh, why did it turn on all those extra fibs? There's your resistance right there. We get above that right there. There you go. That's PR. A, B, and B. I went through this quite a bit with the term trading line people. There's your resistance. There's your support. And we're stuck right in the middle. Break out above this. 175. Stay under that. Watch out. Break below this. 107. So 175, 107. And we're just stuck in the middle. AVGO already did. Already hit that one. And AI. Choppy sideways. Stuck at the target. Watch for the retrace. And Uber. Resistance right there. Support down here. And already did Starbucks. AVIX. USD is crushing it. Right. Almost. Oh, look at that. Almost to the target. Almost. If it was right on the fib line, we got it. That could be a bottom, but it may retrace a little deeper. It may come down here. Right there. Might be the next target down if we get below this bubble. It's avalanche for you. And LQD. Remember, crypto tomorrow. LQD, target 112. Didn't get a close above 10. That was chart of the week 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Close above 108.60, target 112.50. Almost about to trigger. Almost. Right there. Same pattern all the time, right? Just used it upside down, right side up, bigger time frame, smaller time frame. J&J is in a big downtrend. That looks pretty gnarly. Big downtrend. Is that right there? I just expect that to continue. Like that. That's J&J for you. SoFi, low opportunity for J&J. SoFi also looks kind of marginal and like it's going to break down and go lower. Cheese and crackers. That one could go down to 2. Yep. No bueno right there. MSTR. If Bitcoin flushes, roadmap line, be careful. That's a support, resistance, 2100. Support, 1000. Be careful. Stuck at resistance. We've been stuck there for a month, pushing the downside of it. Watch out for a breakdown. I mean, is it going to do the arm thing where we sit there and break higher? Remember, this broke lower before it broke higher. So, MSTR, sitting there. Did one move down, retraced, sit. Watch out for a flush. Be careful. Bitcoin may flush. BA. Ooh, return back down. Goose, I warned you, my man. Could go back to 170. Glanced right off. Yeah. Yep. That's support right around 170. We get below that, watch out for an extension down to this target that we never actually hit fully. Came up shy. That's that truncation theory right there. You know, why I look for fib zones that are not the exact number. Now, 1272 is the target, but 90% of the way there is I will use the 90% as the exact target. But, you know, we don't have to hit it. You can always come up shy. So there's BA for you. And got to almost to the end of the list. MCD, McDonald's. So somebody asked me to do some analysis on McDonald's earlier. Look at this. That looks pretty bad. 232, 238. Get below that. Bigger downside potential. Now, I look at this chart and I think about the fact that McDonald's for years has sold themselves as a real estate investment company that just happens to sell hamburgers, right, and franchises. So they commonly hold their value to be in their real estate. Now, that all said, what have I talked about for months, years now, is the CRE problem, right? Commercial real estate, CRE, commercial real estate. There's a problem brewing in commercial real estate. There is, all right? It's not like maybe there's a problem. There is a problem brewing in commercial real estate. Is McDonald's pattern, you see is that indicative that we may see that? Be careful. Be careful. Yeah, JT knows how to do some dividend stuff too. So, and MU, right to target. I think I already did that one. And FCX. There's the target. Almost there. If we don't hold that, watch out for a return back to this $40 area. Right here. We don't hold that. So support right there at 45. All right, that's the list. Thanks for coming, everybody. Give me a like. Looks like we got a low attendance. And have a great day. We'll see you in the morning. Remember, crypto special. 9:15 in the morning. Same bad time, same bad channel as always. Just enjoy the holiday. We'll see you tomorrow morning. If anything I said was helpful, give me that thumbs up, and see you tomorrow.